Live, feeds open. Welcome back. Today we're doing another review, and I'm going to be talking about Thamepo, Heart That Skips a Beat. Now, this one's a music-based one, so just to preface that for all of you guys, if you're not partial to one that is music-focused, this might not be for you. Just gonna give that out as a warning now, because I know some people don't love like something. I know some people don't love like musicals or stuff centered on music. Like, I think it's really well done, but for some people that may not be your cup of tea. Either way, I think even if you don't really love stuff like that, it's probably like this one's a good one to take a chance on. It's actually done really well in my opinion. But I digress. Let's get into what the show is. When the boy band Mars is on the cusp of disbanding and its leader is preparing to go solo in South Korea, documentary videographer Po is brought in to record the final chapter. What starts as an assignment becomes a journey of friendship, love, identity, and sacrifice. Meanwhile, the pressure of fame, fandom, and loyalty threatens to tear the group and new romance apart. As we always start these, and I'm going to say it every time, with our characters, we have Thame. The leader of Mars, he's a charismatic idol, hiding the weight of leaving his bandmates behind and choosing solo success. We have Po, our videographer, fresh from a breakup, hired to document Mars. He approaches the world of idols with skepticism, and his worldview shifts in the process. We have Dylan, a Mars member, dealing with creative identity and internal group tension. We have June, another member of Mars, more outspoken, he creates friction and adds dynamic tension. Nano, our other Mars member, more reserved, a bit quieter, but he stands out in his own right. And last but not least, Pepper, our very last Mars member. He's supportive, he's the ally type character, and he deals with partner and fandom issues. We have Bai Fern, Po's friend, and a super fan of Mars. Her perspective as fan and friend adds narrative depth. She's also basically the reason why Po was able to get this job in the first place, so thank you to her for her contribution. We have Gam. This is a bit of a spoiler, but she's Pepper's girlfriend. Her actions impact the group and raise questions about personal reputation versus professional career, which I will tell you just a little bit about later. And then we have Hamika. She's the CEO of Owner Entertainment, and she pushes the solo debut route, creating tons of conflict between Thame and Mars. Now, onto the show. Po gets dumped by his boyfriend, who basically tells him he's not successful enough, which crushes him and sets him up for his low self-esteem arc. He takes a job filming a documentary about Mars, a famous T-pop boy band that's about to disband because their leader, Thame, is scheduled to debut solo in Korea. Po meets Thame, and it's definitely not a meet cute. Thame comes off cocky and guarded, and Po comes off judgmental, so there's instant friction. We learn that the band is not okay emotionally, even though they're popular, there are unresolved grudges and hurt feelings inside Mars. Thame's upcoming exit is the core reason. Po starts to interview the members and realizes Thame actually cares about the group way more than he lets on. He's not just leaving, he's torn up about it. And Po pushes Thame to be honest with the members instead of pretending he doesn't need them. That's the first time Thame stops being the cameraman and becomes emotionally involved.
ให้เห็นที่ดูแบบไม่ใส่ใจอ่ะเขายังเจ็บน้อยกว่าเลยหมายความว่าไงเพราะมันชัดเจนไงว่าที่แกทิ้งเขาไปเพราะแกไม่สนใจเขาจริงๆแต่กลับไปของพวกเนี้ยมันทำให้คนที่ถูกทิ้งอ่ะเข้าใจไม่ได้เลยเว้ยว่าถ้าเรายังแคร์กันอยู่ทำไมถึงต้องจากกันแล้วยิ่งต่อหน้ากล้องอ่ะที ที่พวกเขาต้องฝืนทุกอย่างอยู่แล้วแกจะให้เขาทำได้ยังไง
We see how each member, June, Dylan, Nano, and Pepper, are processing the breakup differently. Some feel abandoned, some feel betrayed, and some feel like they're being quietly replaced. Poe starts to position himself as the bridge between Tame and the rest of Mars, which is technically not his job and definitely doesn't make him a neutral party. Tame admits to Poe privately that he doesn't really want Mars to fall apart. He just doesn't see a way to fight management and fix it. Poe steps deeper in and he starts helping Tame come up with a plan to pull the band back together before their final concert, instead of letting them quietly drift apart and hate each other. This is where the emotional line between documentarian and partner in crime officially starts to blur, and you get to see Poe start to catch feelings, not just in a romantic way, but he actually believes in Tame when Tame doesn't believe in himself. One of the band members, June, is checked out and resistant to doing anything that looks like a fake last hurrah. He doesn't trust Tame's intentions. Tame asks Poe directly to help convince June to come back, and this is huge because it shows Tame is relying on Poe emotionally and strategically, not just professionally. They basically run what feels like a slightly manipulative scheme to pull the members into the same space to talk, and it's a bit messy, but it definitely works. Poe starts becoming one of them, which is dangerous because if anything blows up, he's now part of it. June wasn't easy to pull back in, but once Poe talked to him and explained that Tame is doing this because he wants to, not because he believes it's what's best for everyone, that's what gets June back in. We start to realize as each member slowly is convinced back that they all thought it was something good that they were doing for Tame, since he has done so much for all of them, which is an underlying theme throughout, so keep that in mind. We get into Dylan's situation. Tame tries to reach him and clear the air, which drags in outside conflict, an underground rap group that has beef with Tame. Tame basically risks his own public image to defend / approach Dylan. In Tame's mind, he's thinking about it as, if we really can't have the group come back together, I at least want Dylan to have a family to be able to go to outside of us. And Poe watches all of this and realizes that Tame's idol persona versus real Tame are not the same guy. And this is where Poe's emotional attachment deepens hard. The last member who took a bit more convincing was Nano. He believed that everyone had so much more skill than him and was concerned he would be the only one that was unable to do anything beyond the group. He believed he was being left behind, which, thanks to Poe, they were all able to sit and have a conversation about, and they were able to help him realize that he's not alone in that feeling. They all feel that way. They all have self-doubt about not being good enough for anything else outside of this group, and they reassure him, like, you're definitely not alone in that feeling. Like, we all have that same feeling. It's nothing to be ashamed about. And thankfully, this helped to pull him back into the group. Now, we are slowly getting closer to the final concert, and we start to feel that energy build. Everyone knows the moment is coming where this version of Mars won't exist anymore. Poe isn't just filming anymore, he's documenting feelings, backstory, and closure for each of the guys, and that becomes part of the documentary as well. Tame and Poe get physically and emotionally closer. We have late night planning, private encouragement, and soft moments off camera. That's where the romantic line stops being subtext and becomes, oh, we're doing this, and the rest of the band start to notice. After a major performance promo moment, things finally look hopeful, and then reality snaps back. Tame is still expected to leave for Korea, and the countdown is still very real. Poe is now in a dangerous position emotionally. He's fallen for Tame, but dating an idol, especially one about to relaunch internationally, can tank that idol's image and career. This risk is text, not subtext. You also start to see external pressure from management and image control. The don't get too close, don't get photographed, don't be seen energy starts to creep in. Management and public image become public enemy numero uno, and we get movement towards scandal territory. You can feel Poe questioning, am I helping him or am I making it worse? Tame has to decide what matters more, the safe career path laid out for him, a solo debut and a K-pop style pipeline, or fighting to protect the band and the relationships he's built, including Poe. This is where "is this love worth wrecking my career" really becomes the central question for both of them. Tame goes to Poe's place and they have what we'll call a soft domestic night. They hang out, watch a movie together, and start acting more like boyfriends than coworkers. There's a yellow box, which Poe mistakenly thought was a box of condoms, and it was candy.
กลับบ้านก่อนนะ
Which was a cute, funny moment to include in there. That shit had me laughing. And Poe has personal items, mementos from his past, and Tame quietly notices them. This signals jealousy and protectiveness, and this is where we get possessive Tame energy. Tame openly calls Poe "my boyfriend," and this is the turning point in their relationship because it's the first time his claim is not a joke or a tease, it's serious. As at the same time, Poe finally relaxes around Tame and we see Poe's walls drop. Up to now, Poe's been careful, professional, half detached, and here he finally lets himself be cared for. But you know, everything's not perfect, and sadly, a dating leak hits. Surprisingly though, it's not about Tame and Poe, but about Pepper and a mysterious person. We know who it is. Spoiler, it's Gam if you have not seen it. This was revealed in previous episodes when the group first found out Pepper was dating someone and they went searching for who that person was. So it was revealed to us pretty early on, just now all the fans and outside people are starting to figure it out. This causes the management label to panic and damage control begins. There's pressure to deny, spin, and bury evidence, and Miss Pamika also tries to use this as a chance to break up Tame and Poe. Tame has to choose between doing what's good for PR and what's good for Poe emotionally. That choice basically defines who Tame is as a partner. Poe, on his side, feels guilty, like he's the reason Tame's future might get wrecked. Corporate versus personal goes fully open war, and the company line is basically Tame is the asset. Everyone else, even the other Mars members, are secondary. This is where we see clearly how idols are treated like products, and the show doesn't pretend the industry is gentle. Poe starts thinking about stepping back completely, not because he doesn't love Tame, but because he thinks disappearing might protect him. Meanwhile, the rest of Mars rallies around Tame, and that's huge because early on they were fractured, and now they're unified behind him. Ooh, yeah. This is what I mean. Sometimes I can just spit shit out. I be going quick. So if I'm ever going too fast, y'all let me know. Or slow down the video, y'all, because I'm sorry. I'm speeding through some stuff. This is a lot to get through. I'm trying to get through it as best I can. This is also where we start to see some subplots of the other members, like Pepper and outside relationships and Dylan's pride and reputation are starting to get some closure. Now, everyone's cards are now out on the table. Tame and Poe talk honestly about what they mean to each other and what the cost of that love actually is. It's not cute crush energy anymore. It's, are we choosing each other even if it costs everything else?
มันไม่เกี่ยวจริงๆหรอเทปแกถามตัวเองดูดีๆนะว่าช่วงที่มีข่าวมันเกิดอะไรขึ้นกับชาร์ตบ้างไอดอลอะสุดท้ายถ้าอยากประสบความสำเร็จแฟนก็เลือกได้เพียงอย่างเดียวแล้วที่แกทำมาทั้งหมดอะ มันก็แค่เป็นเรื่องของแกไม่ใช่พี่
The band as a unit starts pushing back against the narrative that they're done, showing that they might not accept the breakup story the company wrote for them. Poe stops seeing himself as the outsider with the camera and accepts that emotionally he's part of this family. He wants to protect Mars and ends up getting fired from owner, but this ends up being an advantage for them later. We're at the finale, which, woo! What a finale it was. Mars is being kept apart from Tame, and they aren't able to see him until the concert. So they, along with Poe, come up with a plan to try and get Tame back. Poe was not the only one who helped them. There was also one other person that helped them who he kind of pissed me off for most of the show, and if y'all know who the other person is, y'all know who I'm talking about. So he pissed me off for a lot of the show, and then he kind of redeemed himself helping them out in this last part. So that's all I'm gonna say for that part. They have to get Tame back and get out of owner. They use the concert as a way to talk to Tame finally and basically tell the company, fuck you, and let them know that they can do whatever they want with any other group or artist, but Mars is here to stay. Tame makes his choice about career versus loyalty, and Mars come back together, not just as co-workers, but as brothers, fixing the fracture that episode 1 opened with. Poe and Tame land in a place that's not just romantic, but publicly claimed. The point of the ending is this wasn't just a fling during a documentary, it matters, and the tone is emotional, hopeful. We're walking forward together, though it's a bit uncertain what the future holds. As long as we have each other, we can do anything.
ก็ในเมื่อวันเนอร์ต้องการให้พวกคุณแยกออกจากกัน แต่พวกคุณไม่อยาก พวกคุณก็ต้องไป
ขอบคุณนะครับที่เข้าใจผมรู้ว่ามันก็ยากสำหรับคุณเหมือนกัน
ไม่ยากหรอกค่ะ แค่ต้องจ่าย
นั่นไงมาโน่นละสวัสดีครับพี่พวกมึงนี่เทมแฟนกูเอง
What the show did well, to me, I thought Tame and Poe's relationship was a very cute, slow build. It gave way to a lot of emotional weight and subtle growth, and the supporting cast actually had a lot of substance. I really enjoyed them. Like they really helped contribute to the show. The insight into the idol industry and like how fans kind of work, it was good to see, but it did piss me off a little bit. I'm just gonna say that. And one thing that I thought was really, really unique, that if y'all go back and look at the episode names, all of the names of the episodes are song titles. I mean, like, that's so fucking creative. I would never think to do something like that. But like, I went back as I was watching the episodes, I was looking at them and I was like, these are song titles. Like, these are well-known songs. These are song titles. So like, take a look. If you didn't pay attention to that, go back and look. They're song titles of pretty well-known songs. I thought that was super cute and creative. This show, for me, there wasn't anything that I could say that they did bad. Honestly, I can't say that this one really upset me like at all with the decisions they made. I thought they did a really good job of standing up for themselves. Like, they when I mean fight, like, this is what I mean by fight hard. Like, they did an excellent job of fighting for each other. Like, I kid you not, they constantly hit walls, constantly hit problems and issues, and they kept fighting. They kept throwing punches. They did not let anything keep them down. Like, that's what I mean when I say drama can be drama, but I need characters to hit back. Like, I need characters to stick up for themselves. I'm not here for characters to just let shit happen to them and just take it and take it lying down. This is what I mean by characters who fight and push through. Like, this show did that for me hard. Like, each person through their character development, they started to fight for themselves harder and push harder and fight for the relationships that they built and the people that they wanted in their lives. And that's what I loved about this show. Like, it pushed so much harder than I was expecting from like any show that I've seen so far for a Thai drama. This one fought harder than any of them. I was very happy to see that. So this one rates extremely high on my scale. Thamepo earned a 9 out of 10 daggers. It's so very Blue approved that like this one can definitely be a comfort show for me, especially with the music. Like, this one, it was emotionally rich, ensemble driven, sophisticated themes around fame, identity, love, and sacrifice. It rides some familiar tropes but elevates them with heart, performances, and complexity. I thought this one was so well done. It rates so very highly for me. Now, I want to know what you guys thought. Would you choose group loyalty or individual success? Tame's choice of Mars or a solo career? And does Poe's sacrifice feel romantic or problematic in the context of idol life and personal agency? For now, let's cut the feed, babes, because my work here is done.